Grand Rapids is absolutely an incredible place to live. And did you know that Grand Rapids has some absolutely amazing suburbs? Today, we're going to take a look at Hudsonville, Georgetown, and Jenison and get a good idea of what it's like to live, work, and play in these areas. I'm Nick Belmore, and I'm a local realtor who specializes in helping buyers find the right home for them. I also specialize in helping sellers get into the home that fits them the best at this stage of life. So let's take a quick moment today and let's explore Georgetown, Jenison, and Hudsonville. Okay, so you might be saying to yourself at the moment, hey Nick, hold on a second. Every other video has been about a single city. Why are these three lumped together? Well, the reason is that these three share so much in common, and they share school districts and they share borders. So I didn't know how to talk about these three without kind of putting them into the same video. Let's start with the beginning with Hudsonville. Hudsonville is a great place. It's actually the first place that my family and I moved when we came out here to West Michigan. Didn't know that we lucked out into such a wonderful, wonderful place. Hudsonville itself, however, is really geographically very small. It encompasses the downtown and a couple of neighborhoods around it. For the most part, when we talk about Hudsonville as an area, most people are actually referencing Georgetown Township. And the reason why is so many people here actually reference a place by its school district. So whether you live in Hudsonville or whether you physically live in Georgetown, you still attend the Hudsonville school system. Now, Jenison itself is what's called a CDP, or a census developed place. So a CDP is an area designated by the census itself. And really what they're focused on is just the little community and the people that have moved into it. However, Jenison itself actually has its own school district, even though when you pay your taxes in Jenison, they're actually going to Georgetown Township. Georgetown Township is taking care of the streets, the public works, a lot of those different places. However, Jenison itself does have its own school district. And as we start to look at the schools, we're actually going to look at two specific districts in this area. Number one, the Hudsonville School District. That's encompassing Hudsonville and Georgetown and a small piece of Jenison itself. And we're going to look at the Jenison School District. Starting with Hudsonville, Hudsonville is rated an A. It's a wonderful district known for its sports, extracurricular activity, unbelievable buildings for the Hudsonville school system. Hudsonville is another one of those places, along with Georgetown, where it was a lot of farm area. Actually, known as America's Salad Bowl, Hudsonville is the nickname. So when it comes to the farm area being turned into a lot of these subdivisions, yep, over the years it's definitely happened. Therefore, the school district has swollen, and there is just a ton of amenities that come with the Hudsonville School District. Now, Jenison, a little bit different. Jenison is also A-rated. Jenison's a little bit older, where you start to see a lot of the buildings built in the 60s and 70s when it comes to the school district. Jenison is known for its marching band. Now, do they have a lot of the other stuff like many school districts do? Absolutely. They've got the football team, they've got the baseball team, they've got all those different things. But when it comes to the standout, Jenison is known for its marching band. So famous that they even went to New York to march in the Thanksgiving Day Parade for the last several years. Just known for its excellence and really, really fun to go and watch. We've done a couple of the Memorial Day parades in Jenison, and I love when the marching band is in those parades. They play the best music. Okay, when we start to get into neighborhood descriptions, this is another one where there is a good chunk of variety. When we look at Hudsonville itself, this tiny little section, a lot of it was built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So the homes that are actually inside Hudsonville proper are a lot of those older style homes built in that older era. Now, they're definitely well maintained. I mean, downtown Hudsonville is quaint, it's a beautiful area, it's a great fun place place to be, but a lot of the homes are a little bit of that older architecture. As we start to get into Georgetown, Georgetown is where we used to see those farm fields, and now it's these beautiful new construction sub. A lot of them are homes that have been built within the past 20 years. A lot of the subs could be anywhere from 50 to 60, up to 200, 300 homes in these subs. Beautiful, beautiful area nestled into these rolling farmland hills, and that is a good chunk of what we see in Georgetown Township. Now, when we start to look at Jenison, we really do get into a lot of those 50s, 60s, and 70s homes as well. A lot of the neighborhoods are made in those 12 and 1300 square foot broad front ranches, beautiful yards, a little bit more of kind of that traditional 50s and 60s neighborhood style. A lot more homes jammed together, a lot more population density in Jenison itself. Very much a sought after place to live. Even today, Jenison is one of those places with some of the lowest inventory. If you want to move to Jenison today, not a lot to choose from because things don't often go on the market very quickly there. When they do, they are typically snatched up because Jenison is really that small town Americana that so many people absolutely love. When we start to get into the shopping between Georgetown, between Hudsonville, between Jenison, again, we got a lot of choices that come out into these areas. So family fare, there's definitely a couple of locations there for the local grocery store. Jenison does have its own Myers, and Hudsonville just built a brand new one 3 years ago. So it also has its own Myers. Of course, they also built a brand new Aldi in Hudsonville, and Jenison's Aldi is about 5 years old as well. So good amount of choices when it comes to the regular grocery stores. Of course, I also want to mention the grocery outlet over in Georgetown Township. This is one of those little places that kind of when grocery stores have too many things, this is where they send them to liquidate it. So it's different things all the time, but you can find a lot of really well-priced items at the grocery outlet. Let's start to look at some of our public amenities. I'm going to start with one of my favorites, and that's Hager Park over in Jenison. Hager Park is such a cool place, a giant playground in Hager Park, and there's actually multiple playgrounds out in Hager Park. One of them, the biggest one, is one of the old style 90s, early 2000s wooden playground. It's made to look like a giant ship. There's so much different stuff to do out there. Just beyond the playground, there is just an open field, and it is a series of dirt trails. And when you stand on top of the play structure and look down, you find that those trails actually form a map of the United States of America. And a lot of those trails are either the border or the major rivers that go through the United States. One of the other cool things about this, and I'm talking about this, is a good 50, 60, 70 yard wide map. And as they've mounded the dirt up and grown the grass over, it also mirrors the mountain ranges that exist on the actual map of the United States. So just one of those crazy little quirky fun things over at Hager Park. If you're ever there, definitely climb up to the top of the play structure. Now, of course, there's a great trail system at Hager Park as well. They do have some of the baseball diamonds, a lot of that type of thing as well. There's also like a clubhouse that you can rent out for parties and that kind of stuff. And there's another one in the front that also acts as a little office. Definitely a fun park to check out in Jenison. The other one that is really great is Hughes Park. Got a great picnic area, baseball diamonds, disc golf in Hughes Park, another fun one. Playground, volleyball, basketball, and of course the pavilions if you're having a little outing or having a little party there. That's definitely a fun one. The Hudsonville Nature Center is another cool place to check out. Got a great overlook, a ton of just natural trails, fun stuff in there. There's also Hillside Park, which has a playground. It has volleyball courts, another cool pavilion, and there's also Maplewood Park, which has volleyball, has some fishing in the lake over there as well, grill for public grilling, and the pavilions out in that one as well. And last but not least, I want to touch on Rosewood Park. They've got the disc golf, they've got soccer fields, they have got a sledding hill and a splash pad, walking track, all kinds of fun stuff too. One more that I will touch on over in Jenison is a little park called Charlie's Dump, and they have a splash pad. They also have a cool play structure. But one of the unique things is when this park was formed, it was dug out. Clearly looks like at one point it was for drainage, but it's a good, I would say 125 foot sledding hill all around. So you'll see the kids gather there in the winter with their sleds along the edge of the hill and then going right down deep into the bowl at Charlie's Dump over there. Was it ever a dump? I don't know. Maybe at one stage it was, but I can tell you today it's absolutely a beautiful park in the middle of a wonderful neighborhood that the kids really, really love to play on. Of course, just last year, the year before, they put the splash pad into there, and it gives a great place for the kids to cool off during the summer. When we start to get into things to do, there is no shortage of things to do when it comes to Jenison, Hudsonville, and Georgetown. First one I'll dive into is Terrace Square. Terrace Square is kind of a cool public shopping area in the downtown Hudsonville that does have a really cool public space. You would be able to rent it out. It's connected to multiple different restaurants. Downtown Hudsonville is in and of itself just a really cool place with just a lot of things to do, small restaurants around. Of course, Gemin's is right downtown, which is one of those old style, hardware stores, but Gemin's is like an old style hardware store on steroids because they have anything you could think of when it might come to outdoor cooking, or when it might come to regular old hardware, or when it comes to power equipment. Just one of those cool staples of downtown Hudsonville without a doubt. Of course, you also have the Stony Brook Country Club, another great place because we love our golf courses here in West Michigan. Hudsonville Lanes is another one, and that is a place that's been around forever. I will say this, you don't see a lot of bowling alleys out there today, but Hudsonville Lanes has still been going strong. Absolutely love that place. There's also the Lady Grand Riverboat. If you wanted to get out, check out the Grand River, cruise around out there. It's another fun one to do. Just a lot of stuff to do locally when it comes to Hudsonville, when it comes to Jenison, and when it comes to Georgetown Township. Let's take a look at unique restaurants. This is another one where Georgetown, Hudsonville, and Jenison, they do have a few of those typical chain restaurants. Jenison, I would say, probably has the most when it comes to some of these chain restaurants, but also a ton of really, really unique things. And I gotta start with one of my personal favorites, and that's Johnny B's Barbecue. Johnny B's Barbecue took over a little ice cream shop that ended up going out of business during COVID. And Johnny B himself built this business up to a wonderful barbecue shop. I stop in there all the time because my office is right next to Johnny B's Barbecue. So it's one of my favorite lunch spots. If you're ever there on a Wednesday, the special is the brisket sandwich. I would absolutely get that. It's probably one of my favorites. Beyond that, though, we have a lot of different things too. We have Licari's, which is a small Italian place, and they specialize in different sandwiches, different pasta dishes, and all kinds of wonderful stuff over at Licari's, especially pizza. Another great one. The Win 33 is a little small tavern place. Used to be a Pizza Hut. They took it over. They changed it around. The Win is known for its sandwiches. It's also a bar, great place for drinks. But I will say this, the food is definitely worth checking out when it comes to the Win. Another one of my favorite lunch spots in that area. Bangkok Taste, if you're into that Thai food, really have enjoyed them. Lombardo's Pizza, one of my favorite pizza places over there in Jenison. Of course, if you're in for something a little bit more upscale, there's the Rush Creek Bistro, and that is attached to the golf course over there at Stony Brook. Great place to go and check out. Great food in there. There's also Bosco's Pub right down here in Hudsonville. Another great place for burgers, fun place to check out. There's also the Wing Doozy. If you might be into one of those wing moods, you might be in the mood for chicken, the Derby Tavern is another new place. Really cool spot over here in the area. There's just a lot of different variety when it comes to cool places to eat between Hudsonville, Georgetown, and Jenison. Ton of really, really cool places to explore. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of information about Hudsonville, Georgetown, and Jenison. That being said, if you live in these areas, what did I miss? please go ahead and put it in the comments below, because inevitably there's always something cool that gets left out of these videos and we're updating them all the time. So if you know something that should have been on here, definitely go ahead and shout it out in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date with our videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so they let you know every single time that we put a new video out. We're covering pretty much every city in and around Grand Rapids, and we're also going to dive into some of the cool things to do here in the area. So definitely go ahead, like and subscribe and check that out. Last but not least, if you are thinking about finding your dream home, go ahead and reach out to me. I would be honored to help you through that journey and to find the very best home for you and your family for what's available here in our area. My contact information is in the description below, and I would absolutely love to help you out.